All right, so are you ready to dive deep into Harry's first week at Hogwarts?
Oh, absolutely.
It's like we're right there with him, yeah.
Like we're 11 again.
Exactly. This chapter, it's pure magic, like a time capsule.
It is that feeling of awe and overwhelm. Stepping off the Hogwarts Express.
And into this castle, it's not just a school, it's
It's practically alive, breathing magic.
142 staircases.
And some of them decide to, well, rearrange themselves while you're climbing them.
Talk about a challenge. Doors that need tickling.
Or a polite, excuse me, to open.
Makes you wonder if the castle's playing a game with the students, like magical hide and seek.
And the portraits. They're gossiping, carrying on.
Like old friends.
And Peeves. Don't forget Peeves. More mischievous than anything, really.
Dropping waste paper baskets. Classic Peeves.
Just his idea of fun.
Honestly, even getting to class on time seems like a Herculean task.
Especially with Filch lurking about.
And Mrs. Norris, his feline accomplice, always watching.
On the lookout for any rule breakers.
Adds a whole new level to first day jitters, doesn't it?
Definitely. Are you going to be late because a staircase shifted or because Filch caught you out of bounds?
Oh, speaking of classes, the magical curriculum is incredible. Astronomy at midnight?
Herbology in those greenhouses, bursting with strange plants.
It's just nonstop wonder.
It really does highlight the breadth of magical knowledge. One minute you're learning about constellations, the next you're...
Repotting a screaming mandrake makes our human education system look a bit dull, huh?
A bit. But two classes really stood out in this chapter. Charms, with Professor Flitwick.
So tiny, he has to stand on a stack of books to see over his desk.
What a wonderful image. And then Transfiguration, with the incredible Professor McGonagall.
Transforming her desk into a pig, just to prove a point.
Talk about a power move.
Makes you wonder what other tricks she's got up her sleeve, amidst all those stunned students.
Hermione Granger. She actually manages to transfigure her match into a needle.
Earning McGonagall's rare praise.
It really does speak volumes about Hermione, doesn't it?
Her focus, her talent, yeah.
Determination to master even the toughest magic.
Definitely seems like she's on track to be the brightest witch of her age. And then there's Defense Against the Dark Arts, taught by, well, the rather eccentric Professor Quirrell.
His classroom.
Reeks of garlic.
He's constantly fidgeting and stammering, talking about vampires.
You know, there's something a bit off about Quirrell, isn't there?
Definitely. A bit nervous, maybe? Almost comical, the way he uses garlic.
Makes you wonder if he's really as bumbling as he appears.
Or if there's something darker, maybe, beneath the surface.
The Weasley twins even speculate that his turban is stuffed with garlic.
What is he so afraid of?
Especially since Defense Against the Dark Arts is all about facing those fears, right?
Maybe his eccentricities are a way of hiding his own vulnerabilities.
Or maybe those garlic defenses are there for a very specific and sinister reason.
Ooh, I like that.
But let's be real, the one who steals the show in this chapter,
Oh, definitely.
potions class, Professor Snape.
The dungeon setting, the jars of pickled animals.
So creepy and atmospheric.
It's almost theatrical, the way he enters the classroom.
And his voice.
A hush that demands silence.
And his opening speech. The power of potions to bottle fame, brew glory, and even stop death gives me chills every time.
A real mix of fascination and fear.
Absolutely. And the way he zeroes in on Harry, grilling him about those ingredients.
Who expects a first year to know the difference between monkshood and wolfsbane?
Right off the bat.
Feels deliberate, doesn't it?
Like he's trying to put Harry in his place.
Maybe even enjoys his discomfort a bit.
Snape's disdain for Harry is just palpable. He takes points from Gryffindor for Harry's cheek.
Oh, you could feel that tension simmering between them.
And it boils over during that potion-making exercise.
Poor Neville. Melts his cauldron.
And the potion burns holes in everyone's shoes.
A complete disaster.
And Snape blames both Neville and Harry.
Another point from Gryffindor.
Harry must feel so frustrated and unjustly treated.
It's that classic power dynamic.
Yeah.
The stern authority figure, you know.
But he doesn't just criticize Harry's knowledge, does he?
No, he attacks his character. Accuses him of enjoying Neville's misfortune.
It's like there's a deeper animosity there.
A resentment, maybe, that goes beyond the classroom.
Almost like Snape sees someone he dislikes in Harry.
A reflection, maybe, of his own past.
Interesting. So after that disastrous potions class, Harry and Ron need a pick-me-up.
They head to Hagrid's hut.
That cozy little haven on the edge of the Forbidden Forest.
What a contrast, huh?
From Snape's dungeon to Hagrid's hut.
It's like stepping out of a dark, oppressive world.
Into a place of warmth.
And acceptance.
Hagrid is just a breath of fresh air,
A gentle giant.
welcoming Harry and Ron with open arms.
Even Fang, his giant boarhound.
Is all bark, no bite.
Hagrid embodies that childlike wonder, doesn't he? The same kind we see in Harry.
He does. Fascinated by creatures, even the dangerous ones. Treats everyone with kindness.
Maybe not Filch and Mrs. Norris, though.
He's got a definite distaste for them.
Which, is quite telling.
It is. Hagrid is a bit of a rule breaker himself.
Living on the fringes of Hogwarts with those creatures.
Yeah, most wizards fear. He sees the good in those that society often shuns.
A parallel, maybe, to how he feels about Harry.
Right.
Harry's viewed with suspicion by some, too.
Exactly. Hagrid doesn't shy away from challenging authority, standing up for the underdog. But, let's not forget those rock cakes.
Rock hard.
Literally. But Harry and Ron, they politely choke them down.
A testament to their good nature.
And their growing bond with Hagrid. But then, things take a turn. Hagrid pulls out a newspaper clipping.
About a break-in.
At Gringotts.
Gringotts Wizarding Bank.
And guess when it happened?
On Harry's birthday.
The same day Hagrid withdrew that small package from Vault 713. What are the chances?
Quite a coincidence, wouldn't you say?
The article even mentions that the vault was emptied earlier that day.
What was so important about that package?
And why is Hagrid being so evasive about it?
His reluctance to answer Harry's questions is definitely suspicious.
Is he trying to protect Harry?
Or is there something more to it, some secret he's not revealing?
It's a real cliffhanger. Leaves us with more questions than answers.
What secrets are hidden in that little package?
And how does this break-in connect to Harry? His past, his present, even his future?
It seems we've stumbled upon a mystery here.
It goes much deeper than just a first week at school.
You know that Gringotts break-in? It's like this loose thread,
Yeah.
just begging to be pulled. Makes you wonder, what does Dumbledore make of it all?
That's a good question. As headmaster, you'd think.
He's got to be in the loop, right?
He has his finger on the pulse of the whole magical world.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny you mentioned Dumbledore. He's this incredibly powerful wizard, but he seems to prefer observing things from a distance.
Right. Offers cryptic advice.
Instead of direct answers.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's playing chess,
Moving pieces into position.
But not revealing his full strategy.
Very subtle guidance.
Trusting that Harry will find his own way.
Adds to the mystery, though, doesn't it?
You're sure.
What's Dumbledore's endgame?
And where does Harry fit into it all?
Exactly.
Like, he sees something special in Harry, something
But
that even Harry himself hasn't quite grasped yet.
it makes me think that maybe Dumbledore sees echoes of Harry's parents in him. Their courage, their defiance.
Against the darkness.
Yeah. I mean, James and Lily Potter were
Oh, they were amazing wizards.
formidable in their own right.
Mm.
And the sacrifice they made to protect Harry,
Speaks volumes about their character.
doesn't it?
It's true. Their love for Harry, it was so powerful, it literally shielded him from Voldemort.
Voldemort's curse.
Ugh.
Unbelievable.
But their deaths, it casts a long shadow,
Over Harry's life.
He's known as the boy who lived, but
Orphan.
burdened with this legacy.
That he barely understands.
Exactly. And as he learns more about his parents, about what happened to them,
It's a heavy weight.
but, he's not facing this alone. He's got Ron and Hermione.
Oh, they're already such good friends.
Their friendship is already a powerful force, even in just this first week.
It is.
Facing all these challenges together, getting lost in the castle, dealing with Snape, even choking down those rock cakes from Hagrid.
They're learning to rely on each other.
To trust each other's instincts.
Yeah.
It's those shared experiences, they forge such strong bonds.
They do. And, their friendship reminds me of that saying,
What's that?
the sum is greater than its parts.
Oh, I like that.
Together, they're stronger,
Braver.
more resourceful than they could ever be alone.
It's so important for Harry, Finding that strength and connection.
In those bonds,
Yeah.
that will help him face whatever darkness lies ahead.
It's interesting, even the smaller characters, they play a part in shaping Harry's experience, too.
Right.
Like nearly headless Nick, the Gryffindor ghost.
Oh, right.
He might be a bit gloomy.
A little obsessed with his beheading.
True, but he still offers Harry encouragement,
A sense of belonging.
It really highlights the importance of community, even in a magical place like Hogwarts,
Even in a castle that vast, it's those connections.
that make it feel like home.
Exactly.
And speaking of home, let's go back to Hagrid for a moment. His connection to Harry, it goes deeper than just being the one who...
Brought him to the Dursleys.
Right. He genuinely cares for Harry. Hagrid offers him
A safe haven.
Yeah, from both the wizarding world and the muggle world.
Hagrid embodies that unconditional love, that
That
acceptance.
Harry's been searching for.
His whole life.
Right?
He sees Harry not as the boy who lived, but as
That's Harry.
just Harry.
Yeah.
A kind, curious, courageous young wizard.
And yet there's still that feeling, that nagging feeling that he's hiding something, keeping secrets.
Secrets that could be dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about that package from Gringotts.
It's like he's caught between loyalties. Wanting to protect Harry.
But bound by some other sense of duty?
Maybe to Dumbledore.
Maybe to something bigger that we haven't figured out yet.
Right. Makes you think, are Hagrid's actions driven by something more than just...
Concern for Harry.
Is there something more going on here? A secret society.
A prophecy.
The possibilities are endless.
It's another layer of intrigue.
We start with a simple story, a boy going to a magical school.
But there are whispers of something more, right?
Conspiracy.
Hidden agendas.
And a destiny that's anything but certain.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion.
With each new discovery, it gets more and more complex.
And the best part is, we're only just scratching the surface.
Exactly. This first week, it's just a taste.
Of the adventures to come.
The challenges.
And the revelations.
I, for one, can't wait to see what happens next.
Me too. It's like we've been given a glimpse of this massive, intricate tapestry.
And now we want to see the whole picture.
But before we get ahead of ourselves,
We should take a moment, right?
gather our thoughts.
Connect the dots.
Maybe even make a few predictions about.
What might be in store for our young hero?
Okay, so we've spent a good chunk of time exploring Harry's first week at Hogwarts. It's been a whirlwind.
It has. From the Sorting Hat to those crazy moving staircases. Peculiar professors, suspicious packages.
There's just so much to unpack.
It's amazing how this one chapter sets the stage for so much that happens later, you know?
Oh, absolutely. It's like the author planted all these little seeds.
Hints, foreshadowing.
Yeah, and they grow into these huge plot points later on.
It's so clever.
Think about those potion ingredients that Snape quizzes Harry on, for example.
Monkshood, wolfsbane.
Right. They're not just random plants.
No, they have a deeper meaning.
They're connected to werewolves and dark magic and folklore, right?
Exactly. It's like a little nod to Snape's character.
His connection to the darker side of magic, maybe?
And you could even see it as foreshadowing his role in the fight against Voldemort.
Oh, interesting. And what about Quirrell's garlic obsession?
At first, it seems funny, almost silly.
But then you remember the whole vampire thing.
Their aversion to garlic. It's classic folklore.
And it makes you wonder, is there something more to Quirrell's fear?
Something deeper, maybe. Like, did he have a bad encounter with a vampire in the past?
Or could it be connected to Voldemort somehow?
Voldemort dabbled in dark magic, tried to become immortal.
It feels like the author is playing with our expectations, you know? We think we know the vampire story.
But then it gets flipped.
And we're left with more questions.
Keeps you guessing.
And it's not just the characters, it's the whole wizarding world.
It operates on its own set of rules.
A hidden logic that we're only just starting to grasp.
Right, like that Gringotts break-in. It's not just a random crime.
It's a huge deal. That's one of the most secure places in the wizarding world.
It's supposed to be impenetrable.
Exactly. If someone can break into Gringotts.
What else can they do?
And what does it mean for Harry? He's connected to this whole thing now.
It's like a ripple effect.
Yeah.
You know, this one event.
Could disrupt everything.
And Harry's right in the middle of it.
It's a lot of pressure for an 11-year-old. But he's strong. Even with all this danger and uncertainty, he doesn't back down.
He's curious, he's determined.
And he's already showing signs of real bravery.
That's what makes him such a great hero, right?
He's not perfect, he makes mistakes, but he's always trying to do the right thing.
And he's not afraid to ask for help.
Which is important. Ron and Hermione are already proving to be amazing friends.
They offer support, challenge his ideas.
Remind him that he's not alone.
It's a testament to the power of connection, you know?
Finding your tribe.
The people who get you accept you and will always be there for you.
It's a powerful theme, and I think it resonates with everyone.
We all want that sense of belonging, to be seen and appreciated for who we are.
In a world that can feel lonely sometimes, those connections are so important.
They really are. And it's not just about human connection either. It's about connecting to something bigger than yourself.
A purpose, a cause.
Something that gives your life meaning.
And for Harry, that's the wizarding world, right? His parents' legacy.
The fight against darkness.
It's a journey of self-discovery. Learning about his powers, confronting his fears.
Choosing his own path.
Even if it leads him into the unknown. So, as we wrap up this deep dive,
Hmm.
what's the one thing you want our listeners to remember as they explore the world of Harry Potter?
I'd say pay attention to the details, the symbolism, the hidden meanings.
The little connections that the author makes.
Don't just read the words, experience them. Dive into that world.
Engage with the characters.
Ask questions. Come to your own conclusions.
It's about making the story your own, finding your own connection to these themes.
Of friendship, of courage, of good versus evil.
Those are at the heart of this series.
And who knows, maybe you'll learn something about yourself along the way.
That's a great point. It's been amazing exploring just this little piece of Harry's world with you. We've uncovered hidden meanings, talked about the characters, and even made some guesses about the mysteries that are still out there.
So many mysteries.
And I can't wait to see where this journey takes us next.
Me neither. Until then, keep the magic alive